Right, what's happening everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today what I'm going to do is a little real-time cooking thing because I'll be honest, I'm a little bit tipsy and I can't be fucked to edit the thing. So we're going to just do a real-time cook along with me. What we're doing today is fish tacos. Now, the one thing I have got is I've pre-done some lettuce, which I've just shredded up. It's just some cos lettuce. I've shredded it, I've washed it, I've spun it in those little salad spinner fuckers and put it in the fridge. It's actually a really good thing to do because what you do is you do a big batch, and once it's in the fridge and it's dry, it will keep in the fridge for like 4 or 5 days, like easy. So really top tip. So I just keep that in my little salad area in the bottom of the fridge. So that's good. So we've got that. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough as well. So now what we're going to need, fish tacos. Now this is a poor man's or a isolated man's special because I haven't been bothered to go out and get any fresh fish, so I've got some like frozen crumbed fish fillets here, which are going to do the job really nicely, I reckon. So we're going to get those in the oven and cook those to the according things. So it's about 12 minutes in the oven, maybe a bit more. I'll probably do, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes each side and see how it's going. I've got it on about 200 degrees centigrade. So what we're going to do, preheat the oven, so that's at the temperature that we need. We'll put that in like now, well, in a minute, and then we'll cook all the bits or prepare all the bits that go with it, and we should hopefully be timed about perfect. So get those fish things in the oven. That's in, sorted. I should probably set a timer, but I don't know where my phone is, so we'll just have to guess. Hang on. All right, it's past, so we'll go from there. So I've got some nice little tortilla wraps, which we're gonna get in a pan on here in a bit. But we'll do that in a minute. I've got some tomatoes. I'll show you. I mean, you know what tomato fucking looks like, but it's just a round red thing. So we got those. I've washed them, and we're going to chop those up. Got red onion. Oh, I've got some. Hang on, where the fuck are these? Cucumber. Now, for a relish, I mean, I'm going to just do what I've got. So this is very much a lockdown special, really. So I'm just doing whatever I've got in the fridge to make this thing work. So I've got a couple of little Lebanese cucumbers here. These little miniature ones. The other thing I've got, which is pretty good, are these jalapeno chili sauce from the Byron Bay Chili Co. Can you see that? I'll put it out the light, but it's a really nice little product, sort of medium spiciness. So it's not going to blow your head off, but it's pretty good. There's another cucumber. What else am I going to do? I'm also going to make a little mayonnaise dressing sauce thing. Basically just jazz up some mayo. We'll do that first because that can actually sit for a bit and develop some flavours. So what we're going to do is get a bowl. Here we go. I've got a bit of a cough as well, so I apologise if I'm coughing. We'll get a spoon. I'm just using this Best Foods real mayonnaise. I normally use a free-range egg mayo, but they didn't have any. Apparently everyone's buying mayonnaise, or at least everyone's buying all the good mayonnaise. They're buying Hellmann's mayonnaise and they're buying Heinz baked beans. So for me, it's a bit of a problem. I'm going to put a bit more in there because this thing will go. Lasts pretty nicely. So start off with some mayo, pinch of salt. Get that in there. That's Maldon salt because it's the bee's knees in terms of salt. Bit of black pepper. Get that grated in there. We can get quite a bit in here because we want a bit of spice and we want a nice kind of zing from the pepper. It'll give it a freshness and kind of cuts through the richness of the mayonnaise. So that's going to be perfect. I might put, that's white pepper, may as well. I had it out on the surface, so we're going to use it. I'm going to get some togarashi. This is some Japanese chili pepper because I quite like it and the heat it gives. So we're going to do a nice zing of that in there. Then what I might do is I've got some yuzu. It's lime vinegar, so it's basically lime yuzu, like Japanese stuff. So it's quite strong, so you don't need a huge amount of it. So I'm going to do a splash of that, and then I'm going to do a little splash of fresh lemon as well. So I'm just going to cut a wedge off like that, Just squeeze that in there as well. Make a nice kind of citrusy zing. It's going to help cut through some of the spice from this jalapeno sauce. And then what I'm going to do is try and find the paprika. And let's pop a little bit of that in there as well, because to be honest, I don't know why. I think it's going to be quite nice. So we're going to give that a go. If I can get the little fucker open, there we go. I know that's the wrong side of the spoon. I don't want to put too much in there. I don't want to put a full tablespoon. Put it half a tablespoon. I mean, I could have just used the right side of it, but like I said, I'm a bit drunk. So, to be honest, I reckon that's too much paprika. I might have fucked that, but so probably the end of a spoon, just one little scoop, and that's probably about right. But so I don't know. It's probably going to be all right. Give it a smell. Yeah, it smells pretty good. So this is sort of like a citrusy, zesty, paprika-y, slightly spicy because of the pepper mix we've got in there. And there it is, super nice. And this is great with seafood and in a sandwich with all kinds of stuff. So I mean, this is a really good little base sauce for sandwiches. It's awesome. So I reckon that's pretty good. I'm going to let that sit before I really try it. And then we'll adjust the seasoning in a bit once that's had a chance to sit. That can just sit out because it's not going to be out that long. So what we're going to do, hang on, let's turn on the nice camera, shall we? Oh, actually, I'll turn it off and then I'll turn it on again because I did that wrong. I think my angle might be a bit shit, but whatever, that'll do. So there we go, we'll start that going. So what we're going to do now is prepare the little salsa. So we're going to get a bowl to mix it all up in. I'll probably get a decent sized bowl so you guys can see what's going on. Sorry about the cluttering. So that'll do. So what we're going to do now is essentially we're going to cut our tomatoes. Now you could strip out some of the goopy inside stuff if you want to. You should probably use a slightly smaller knife than this, especially as, and to be honest, I probably shouldn't be using this knife in my current drunken state, but I'm going to. So we'll just have to be careful. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep these little tomatoey bits off to one side and try and get some of the liquid out of there. So here we go. To be honest, I should definitely be using a smaller knife here. You know what? We'll get our little takamura out. This is a cool little knife, this thing. So there we go. Get that out in there. So yeah, with this, I mean, I'm just sort of quartering it and we're ending up with a little thing kind of like that. So we're going to just kind of be careful and scoop out those bits. Now that goes in there, that goes in there. That can go over there. And it doesn't matter if you're kind of missing a few bits out because it's just to get most of the seeds out because you don't really need them in there. But what we're going to do is season this bowl here that I'm putting those bits in with salt, and then we're going to, it's actually, that is not sharp enough. It's going to draw out some of that liquid and help us to get a bit of that tomato flavour, and we're going to pour that into the little salsa that we're making. So yeah, just kind of quarter these. I'm going to just do this with my sharp knife. Although this other knife is sharp as well, but I need to sharpen it again because it's not quite where I want it to be. To be honest, I think I might not have thought about this and done too many tomatoes, but I've done it now, so fuck it. So there's that. That's pretty good. I'll just quickly do this. So where are we at now? We're at 5 minutes in from when we put the fish in. So we're going to be tracking pretty nicely, I think, by the time we're all done. So I wanted to do this kind of real time because, not because I can't be bothered to edit it, but I think it's good to do a few of these videos sometimes just to kind of allow you guys to cook along with me. And I'm not going super quick with the cutting because, like I said, I'm a little bit tipsy, so I don't want to go ridiculous and cut myself. But to be honest, this knife probably isn't quite sharp enough to do any lasting damage. Well, I'd hope not anyway. So that's looking pretty good. So anyone wants to know, this is a Takamura knife, this little guy here. This knife is a Fujiwara knife, which is ridiculously ridiculous. That knife is not for the faint-hearted. It's ridiculously sharp. Although to be honest, these Takamura ones are as well, but my Fujiwara is a bit newer, so it's still actually got the edge on it from when I bought it. So pretty sweet. So here we go. I mean, this might seem like a bit of a faff, but I think it's worth it just to get those little pips out. So, and like I said, we're going to try and make the most of these bits we're cutting off by extracting some of that kind of tomato essence flavour out of it. And by just adding a bit of salt, it's going to just draw out all the liquids that's held in the kind of jellied part of the tomato thing. So I don't know what you call that, membrane. So yeah. So there's all those kind of in there, as you can see. So we're just going to generously sprinkle that with salt, give it a toss round. And that's going to help to draw out any more liquid. And then we'll just sort of strain that off into this other bowl in a minute. Washing my hands. Where's my fucking thing gone? There it is. Right. It's looking good. So, which I might actually... Bear with me a moment, guys. I'm going to plug in my bloody thing so I can see what the fuck's going on. Motherfucker cunt, there we go. Right, nice. I can monitor what the fuck I'm doing now. Well, I think it stopped recording, stop that again. Yeah, so that's looking pretty good. So there's our tomato there that we've stripped out. So, I mean, what we're gonna do now really is just sort of cut down in a couple of lengths like that and then cut across and just whack that through, get that in the bowl. And we'll just keep going through that. So as you can see, I mean, this thing probably would generate some more flavour if you left it for a bit longer, but to be honest, it's still going to be pretty nice. And we want this in there for the kind of fresh zing it's going to bring to it. So we don't want it to be like overpowered with flavour. I mean, what you can do if you wanted to is add some coriander, like fresh coriander or fresh basil, or well, actually not fresh basil, that would be weird, but fresh parsley or something. But I haven't got any of that. So again, this is just like making do with what we've got in the house. So it's going to be my interpretation of a kind of salsa and fish taco thing. Now, what I could have done with the fish that I put in the oven is I could have sprinkled some extra paprika or some sort of Cajun mix on it or something to jazz it up a bit, which would have worked great, but I forgot to do that. But it doesn't need that on there, to be honest with you. We've got enough flavours going on. And that kind of Cajun mix can be a bit overpowering sometimes, it just depends. But also what you want to do is, if you don't have these like oven fish fillets, is you could do it with fresh fish and do your own breadcrumb, or just simply marinate it in some flavours like, you know, that Cajun mix or something I was talking about, and just, you know, pan fry them off or stick them on the barbie or something like that. And that's going to, you know, be great as well. So like I said, I'm just using these oven things because that's what I had in the freezer. So it'll do the job, and it's probably going to add a nice kind of crunch because of the breadcrumb. And if you want to make your own breadcrumbs, what you can do is get yourself your normal fish fillets that you buy from your fishmongers or your fishy butcher, whatever you want to call it, and get that on a plate, and then get another plate with some flour on one plate, get some like an egg wash on another, and some milk in another, which you season, and then you just go milk, flour, egg, and then breadcrumbs, and then repeat that process for however many fillets you want. And then you can either put them in the oven or pan fry them, or, you know, do whatever you want. So yeah, that's awesome. So there's our tomatoes. We'll just get a little thing and mop this up a little bit. I've got to be really careful with this knife, fucking hell. What I need really is someone here who's not quite as tipsy as me to remind me that my knife's really sharp and dangerous, but you know, I'll just have to remember. So that's looking good. So let's get the cucumbers in there now. So these I've just given a rinse. We'll just top and tail them. We'll just slice through like that, and then, I mean, you could sort of come down in lengthways through them as well, like that, if you wanted to. Just be careful when you're doing this. Cucumbers are one of those things that people maybe don't pay attention to because they're just so easy to cut, but it's those things that you kind of need to really pay attention to because you can just slip and cause some problems. So yeah, so just kind of be careful at this point. There we go. That's awesome. We'll get those in there. And then we're trying to get all the bits around the same sort of size. So just like nice little chunky bits like this, little dice, fine dice. Pretty awesome. And I think one of these cucumbers, I won't need two. That's pretty good. You shouldn't really drag the knife across the board like I'm doing. It will blunt the edge, but fuck it. I'll just sharpen it again. It's all good. So yeah, there we go. We'll just keep going through that. And again, I'm just doing a little rocking motion here because I mean, you can come through and do this, but because I'm a bit tipsy, I'm trying to be careful. And by anchoring the point here, it's just a slightly safer way to chop. If you're a bit of a beginner chopper or a bit of a tipsy chopper, then it's the way forward, basically. So there we go. And like I was saying, if you want to do it with the back of the knife and do that thing, that's much better than doing it with the edge of the knife. So, but I find that a bit weird because I'm just conditioned doing it that way because I've just done that for years. But now I've got nicer knives in the house, I probably shouldn't do it. So, so there we go. There's a nice cucumber and tomato in there. And now we're going to do a little bit of red onion. I'm only going to need kind of half of this. Cut through. I'll probably take the bigger half. Awesome. There we go. And then we're going to just do our nice basic, let's just give that a wipe down. And do our classic dice on the onions. So you've probably seen me do this before or seen this done loads of times before, but as we're doing a real-time thing, I may as well show you how I do it. So do what I did there, take the end off, in half, peel the thing, and then leave the root on here. And then what I like to do is we're going to cut this a couple of ways before we cut through this way, but I like to do these cuts first. So we're going to cut through horizontally. And just don't push down really hard when you're doing this because that's going to make it harder to cut through. And just kind of, you know, you can even do this and bring it up and cut through like that really, really carefully. Just don't cut through to the end. So 3 is normally about right there. And then we're going to cut through this way. So we're going to do nice little cuts and get these quite thin if you can. So I'm going, I don't know if you can kind of see what I'm doing, but probably 5mm for these cuts. And just try and keep them consistent if you can. There we go. And then that's it. And then we turn it around that way and then just cut through really carefully, doing the old fingery, tucky, undery jobby. And just take your time with it. I mean, don't need to rush and lop a finger off. So just take care and get a nice fine dice on that. And then at the end, I'll show you what we can do. If you want to get it even finer, then you just sort of cut the knife back through it all. And a nice sharp knife is going to result in less slipping and stuff. So it's actually, even though the knife's sharper, it's kind of less risk of actually cutting yourself if you're in control of it. So, so there's a nice pile of nice finely diced. But if you want to get it a bit finer, just kind of whack the knife through it, go in a few different directions. Just like that. Super good. Very, very nice. That should be good. And to be honest, that's probably too much. So I probably want to only put about half of that in there, I reckon, because it's quite a strong flavour. So I'm going to pop that to one side into a little bowl, and I'll pop that into I don't know, fry it off with some meat or whatever. We'll figure that out. So I'll get a little bowl, pop it in the fridge, keep that for tomorrow and do something with it. That's the thing to do, is like, you know, you don't always need to use everything that you've chopped up, and it will last, you know, a couple of days in the fridge. So, you know, just kind of use your eyes and figure stuff out as you're going along. Sometimes it's kind of the way to do it. So, a little rinse. Awesome. So, I guess now what we're going to do what are we at now? 45. So that's actually probably been in 15 minutes, which means I probably should have turned it about 5 minutes ago, but we'll do that now. I'll show you where we're at. So you can kind of normally tell how it's looking. So I'm just going to give those a little flip over. Yeah, they could do with a bit longer. So, I mean, they're not going to overcook if you know, keeping it under about 15, 20 minutes or so, but I don't know, we're at 15 minutes, but like I said, I'm a bit tipsy, so it's going to be good, whatever. So there's our nice little mix. So currently that's had no seasoning, so we're going to do a good pinch of salt. Nice. We're going to do a nice grind of black pepper and some white pepper because it's there. Then what we're going to do is get some sushi vinegar, if I can find the fucking thing. I had some the other day. Where the fuck's that gone? You motherfucker. That's the problem when you're a bit drunk. There we go. It's in the fridge for some reason. So I'm using a sushi seasoning because it's like a kind of vinegar and, there you go, and a slight sweetness to it, but I want a little vinegary zing and a bit of sweetness in there. So we're going to do a splash of that. And then what I'm going to do is probably a little sprinkle of coconut sugar. Because, I mean, why the devil not, eh? So, a little bit of sweetness. Because I'm not going to do too much of a sweet stuff. So it's probably a little teaspoon's worth. That's probably about right. Let's just give that a little stir up and you'll kind of see what's going on. So again, that's vinegar, sugar, salt, pepper, well, black pepper, white pepper. Smelling pretty good. Now this would be great with coriander in it if I had it. So at this point, freshly chopped some coriander and pop that in there. I could put in some ground coriander, but that might be a bit weird, so I don't know if that's going to work. What else do I need to do? I think that's looking pretty good. And so this would be good if you did it and then gave it an hour in the fridge or something, just to generate some flavours and do its thing. And now remember the little bowl that we had of the tomato stuff. So I'm going to get a little strainer and just pop that in there and just push that through and get all that tomato flavour and liquid out without getting any of the pips and all that crap. And that's just going to kind of add to the liquid in here, so it's going to be about right. That's good, so that's great, there we go. And that's obviously seasoned with salt, so I probably didn't need to put the salt in here initially, so this could end up being a bit salty, but fuck it, it'll be great. And there we go, super simple little fresh zingy salsa. And if you want to add a little bit of spice, I'm addicted to this Japanese togarashi kind of chili pepper stuff, so I'm going to just add a zing of that in there as well. So that should be great. So give that another little stir up. And again, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let that kind of infuse some flavours before I try it, and then give it a couple of minutes while we finish off the fish and get the tortillas going, and then we'll just try it before we add it in case I need any more seasoning. But to be honest, I know I don't need any more salt because that's going to be probably pretty salty. So I suppose some citrus might be nice. Let's do that, fuck it. Another little wedge of there. Little sprinkle of there, which I'll just put all over the board anyway, but never mind. There we go. So that's had, yeah, a nice little mix of the sweet sushi vinegar, a little bit of lemon, salt, pepper, well, black pepper, white pepper, a little bit of the togarashi pepper, and I can't remember what else I put in it, so you'll have to rewind or something. But I think that was it. So there we go, that's awesome. I'm gonna get that cucumber in the fridge. Fish is doing its thing, looking pretty good. Give that a couple more minutes. We'll just have a little tidy up. So we'll just prepare this. What I'm gonna do is get this into a little bowl, because I think it's gonna be easier to make the thing look pretty, because I've got to make it look pretty for you guys. If I can get the little fucker open. Oh, that'll do. I'll get that in a little bowl. Let's just tidy this up. Now this is another really important thing. You've got to try and keep your kitchen tidy as you go. I should have had a little portable kitchen bin thing going, which basically can just be a bowl. But I haven't done that, and now it's got a bit messy. So I'm just going to tidy this up. It makes it a hell of a lot easier to tidy up as you're going along, and then tidy up all the mess right at the end. So this should be pretty good. There we go. There we go. So let's give that fish a couple more minutes. I know we're going to do real time here, but I might have to cut because I don't know what the fuck else I'm going to talk about until that fish is done. So, I mean, I guess we can prepare the... get a saucepan out on here. So it's just a nice non-stick pan, no oil in it or anything like that. We're just going to bring that onto a nice, gentle, medium heat, about a 4 on this induction pan. Sorry about the fan noise on it, but I can't do anything about that. This knife I should wash because it's going to go rusty. That's the problem with carbon steel, is it will rust. That'll do for the minute. Right, so get your tortillas out. So these are just some nice Community Co tortillas. They're pretty good. They're not massive ones. I didn't really want to get really, really big ones for this. And we're just going to start warming that through. We'll just go one at a time. I'll probably do 2 of these because I'm drunk and I'm a fatty. So there's that one. We'll put that to one side. We've got, let's line this stuff up. We've got our salsa. We've got our nice little mayonnaise mix here, as you can see. We've got our jalapeno chili sauce, which I'm going to get a little bowl of. And again, it's just a bit easier to portion this out. It's probably too much, but fuck it, that'll do. Let's get that in the fridge. Do we need anything else? I think that's good. Well, actually, yeah, we need the fucking lettuce. Jesus. Right. And there's our lettuce. We'll put that over there. Hopefully, yeah, it's not quite in the way of the camera. I guess the other thing, excuse me, I might put in a bit of this Lingham sweet chili sauce. This is the best chili sauce. It's literally, look at the ingredients. It's fucking brilliant. Sugar, red chilies, 40%, salt and vinegar. That is it. No other crap in this thing. That's why it's so good. And it's probably the tastiest chili sauce you can get, but it is a little bit spicy. It's not a normal sweet chili sauce. It's got a real background little kick to it. So I might just do a little sexy drizzle of that when it comes to it. Kind of need something to prop these fuckers up with, really. But I don't know. I don't really want to roll it. I want it sort of cradled in some sort of thing, but I think you need some sort of professional taco eating receptacle or something, so I'll just have to make do. So that's warming up. That's doing really nice. We're just going to keep turning that. You'll know when it's about ready. It will start to like puff up a bit and take on a little bit of colour. We don't want to go too much more than that, and it just kind of loosens the thing up so it's easier to fold around and stuff. But because we're not really doing anything super crazy. That's my phone. There we go, look at that thing, awesome. So yeah, what we're going to do, we're going to give this fish a couple more minutes and then we'll be back and we'll finish off the next bit. Right, so here we go. So this is starting to puff up a little bit. Try not to burn yourself, which I'm going to do, but whatever. I think the fish is smelling fishy, so it's probably done. Let's have a look. It's started to stick a little bit. So there's our little fish fillets. I'll get those out with a nice little spatula. Let's have a look. I mean, it's stuck a little bit on that side, but I reckon we're at a nice kind of point with this. I might just flip it over and give it a couple more minutes just to crispen on that side a little bit. I'm going to give it a little sprinkle of salt at this point as well. Salt and fish. I'm going to overdo the salt in this thing, but what are you going to do? Okay, so this is heated up really nicely. It's getting a bit of a crunch on this side. That's great. Fish is looking good. I reckon that's good. We're gonna just fish that out. Pardon the pun, look at that. Fucking comedian. Well, that's probably a pretty of a shit comedian joke, isn't it? But, you know, what are you gonna do? So fish is out, that can do its thing. So I've done 2 fillets, 1 for each taco, which is probably too much, but, you know, fuck it. There we go, so that's looking great. Little bit of firmness to it, it's got a nice little crunch. While that's going, we're gonna get the other one in. See, multitasking, we've got a fucking production line going here. This is good. Knife's out. So, what I'm gonna do first is, we're gonna, hopefully that's in focus. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna start with some of our nice little spicy mayo mix. I'm gonna just get that all over the bottom because, oh, I probably should have tasted it. Yeah, that's good. We're gonna lay out some of our nice crunchy cos lettuce, pre-washed and all that jazz and nicely chilled from the fridge. So it's still got a nice crunch to it. Get that little bugger in there. Oh, that looks like a manky bit. Don't want that. Yes, this is good. So there we go, there's our little base of lettuce. Now we've got a fillet of fish. I'm probably going to chop this fucker up a little bit actually, just into nice crunchy portions, and we're just going to lay this little thing across. Bring that back in focus because that's also quite important. Get that on there. Yes, that's looking pretty good. Is it in focus? Yeah, kind of. Let's check. It's hard to fucking tell, isn't it? You've got to get your hand in there or something. Fuck it, that'll do. So there's that. We're going to put in a bit of a nice relishy stuff. Or salsa, what do you call it? Salsa, I suppose. Super awesome. Fucking yes, this is going to be good, isn't it? Oh man. Nice little salsa-y thing going on there. Sprinkle that around. Then jalapeno, drizzly, spicy dressing. Flip that over before it burns with your other hand because you're multitasking because you're a genius. And modest. That's looking good. I mean, I don't know how this is going to fold up. And then what I'm going to do is the final little pièce de résistance is drizzle a bit of this stuff. Hopefully it's not going to come out too quick, or it probably will. Just get ready for it. A little bit of sweet, zingy, spicy chili. Look at that. Fuck me. Oh, super awesome, delicious taco that we're gonna fold up like that and just I mean, I don't know how you're even gonna eat it. I don't know. Let's give it a go. I mean, look at that, super delicious taco-y. Yeah, that's great. I should probably take a photo. Oh fuck, it's fallen out. Oh my god. Well, I'm a bit too drunk to eat this, but yeah, amazing. Drunken fish tacos are a winner. We'll get this fucker out and try that again. Oh yeah, that's good. Got a nice spice to it. I don't know what I'm doing here, fuck me. Get in there, you fuckwit. So yeah, this jalapeno stuff really good. Motherfucker. I'm dropping everything, man. It's getting messy, I gotta say. Get that off, you fucking fuck. Everything's hot. Oh. Well, let's build the other one and take a picture of this one. So let's try and make this pretty. So we've got our sauce. Super awesome. We got our fish fillet. Maybe I should just, oh no, lettuce. Yeah, that's it. We got some lettuce. Sprinkle that on. Nice little layer of lovely lettuce. Beautiful. Yeah. Super delicious. And we're going to do a nice bit of fish. We've lost all the spoons. This little sauce has worked really well. We're going to just drizzle that on top. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. We're going to drizzle all that on top like that. Super awesome. We're going to get our jalapeno sauce from the Byron Bay Chili Company. Shout out to them. They're not a sponsor, but maybe they will be one day. We can but hope. There's our awesome thing. And then let's finish off. Sorry about that fan noise. It's this fucking induction. Oh, it stopped. Look at that. And we're going to do a sexy drizzle of the Lingham's sweet chili. And there we go. Super amazing, delicious fish fillet taco. Doesn't get better than that. I mean, that is delicious. Super tasty. Simple, relatively simple. I mean, you can make all these sauces beforehand and just cook the fish. And like I said, with the fish, you just do what you want with. I mean, just mix it up and, you know, get it crack-a-lacking along, and there you go. You could put some cheese on this, but shockingly, I don't think I've got any cheese. But never mind, what you're going to do. So there we go, guys. There's my super awesome fish taco. What if I just folded that up and... No, it doesn't look very good. So yeah, there we go, guys. There's my awesome fish taco. Hope you like it. Give it a go yourself. Get cracking. Keep isolating. We'll get through this together by eating awesome stuff like this. And yeah, there we go. Cheers, guys. Hit like, comment, subscribe. There's some more videos right at the end, which you can check out some of my other videos. This has been a bit of a cook-along thing and back to how I was doing it, but you can tell why I don't really do this that often, because I tend to waffle a bit too much and just it takes fucking ages. So the shorter videos that I've been doing, I think are a bit more concise, and because I edit them and then I can't go any longer, so I have to do a voiceover and fit it all in, so I can't waffle. But like now, you see I'm fucking waffling. So anyway, there we go. Cheers everyone. We'll be back with another video soon. Nice one.